Are we ready for him? Are we ready? Or as the Chiefs might say, are we ready for it?
The time's ours.
No, the time is going to be ours, hopefully. But are we ready for it? It's a Taylor Swift song, Chris. All right. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid. How you doing, Coach? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. We got to get Chris on the ball, man.
That's right.
I mean, Andy, my son is 5. He's not into Taylor Swift yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
All right.
Thank you.
How about your grandkids? They must be, right, Andy?
Yeah, my granddaughters love her. Yeah.
Of course. Well, listen, good to see you. Where are you in terms of preparation right now? Are we installed? Is this happening? Walk me through what a prior to the Super Bowl week for someone like yourself is right now. And
Yeah, so we treat it like a normal week and just put in the game plan. Try to get it all done now, Rich, because when you go down there, it's a little chaotic and it's not quite the same practice schedule that you had. So while it's consistent here, we try to keep it consistent and get the game plan in.
Yeah, when do things turn abnormal? The minute you land? Is that what it is? Is that it, pretty much?
Well, basically, I mean, you're staying at a hotel, you're working at a field, that it's not your normal field. And at times you normally don't work. But, I mean, listen, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing, I'm telling you. But while it's consistent here, we try to get it done and knock it out while the guys are sleeping in their own beds and work hard and think and all that stuff.
Now, I spoke to Joe Banner the other day, Andy, and he said that your attention to detail is second to none, and that's what he heard about you when he started, poking around in regards to hiring you way back in the day from Green Bay. Is the schedule and the way you go about it the same as what you did with the Eagles for that Super Bowl in Jacksonville? Is it the same thing that you're doing?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. By the way, Joe Banner is likewise attention to detail. One of the smartest guys I've ever been around, so he's tremendous. But yes, that's it's basically the same schedule, very, very, very similar.
Andy Reid here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, let's just jump into this. Here is I want to talk Kelce with you if you don't mind, because we just showed a video on our show the other day. Because it was 7 years ago yesterday that Alex Smith got traded away to make room for Mahomes. And you could see Kelce was a little broken up about it and that Mahomes was going to be the guy. But also the Kelce back in that day was just beginning to turn into the professional, was really beginning to turn into the guy that we see here today. What was going on back when he first started there that you were able to see something from him, but needed to kind of calm the waters for a guy that was coming into the league with a little bit of a hothead type of perception about him, Coach?
Sure. Well, I had known him for a while because of his brother playing for me. And then my kids were at Temple, one playing, one coaching, while he was playing at Cincinnati. So I had a chance to meet him, see him, that whole deal before I even got here. And then when we got here, John Dorsey wanted a tight end and had looked at him and liked him. And so that was an easy thing for him to take. And it's worked out. Now, when he was young, different than his brother was more calm, still very intense, but more calm than Travis. So when we got Travis, he was a little bit live wire, but has matured over the years. He's done great. And he loved Alex Smith and he loved Pat Mahomes too. They're buddies. And he's been fortunate to have these two great quarterbacks that have been throwing to him. But he's got a big heart. He always had that heart. That's why he's broken up about Alex. He loved Alex, and he's emotional. Trav's emotional. He's not afraid to show it, and that's part of him that we love.
Well, and there's lots to love about Alex, and obviously you won a lot with Alex, but Mahomes was drafted where he was drafted, and I'm just wondering now that you're seeing Mahomes be on a Mount Rushmore path here, and looking back, do you think he would have been on that path if you were forced to have to go to him right away like so many teams in the NFL these days?
Yeah, listen, I don't know that. I mean, I'd hate to doubt him on that because he probably would have proved me wrong. But we had Alex here, and that I thought Alex could help him in certain ways and still have a great year, which he did. But just to watch Alex work, I think is invaluable for in this case for Pat, not only to work on the field, but in the classroom, off of the field during the off season, how you handle the OTAs, all those things that he got to see. Pat could go, all right, this is the way you do it in the National Football League. You still be a Pro Bowl player. And Pat was able to just bank all that away. That part he might not have seen had he started, as a starter. So, but I wouldn't tell you he's great because he sat out the first year and was a backup. I wouldn't tell you that. I mean, I think he would have been still a pretty good player now.
Well, I mean, no doubt. And the reason why I'm kind of hitting the Wayback Machine here is to set up the magnitude. It's not just any Super Bowl. This is a three-peat, Coach. And I understand that you keep things compartmentalized. That's part of your greatness as well. But do you mention this at all? Do you have any plans to mention at all that this is an opportunity that no one else has ever had in the history of the Super Bowl? No one else has ever had the opportunity that you and the rest of this team have against the Eagles in 2 Sundays. Do you mention it this week?
So I haven't heard one mention of it. I haven't mentioned it. I don't plan on mentioning it. But I'm also not naive enough to know that they haven't heard it. I mean, I've heard it a ton up to this point, and I'm sure I'll hear it more this next week once we get down to New Orleans. So we all know that's out there, but really what matters is how you take care of business. That's not going to help you at all. That part's not going to help you. What's going to help you is that you focus in and take care of business today while we're doing our practices or the meetings we have today. I mean, take care of that. And everything else, you let the chips fall where they may. You got 2 great teams playing each other. So it's hard to predict one way or the other. You can, though, control how you prepare yourself. So that's what we've been doing. We've been doing that all season. And I'm sure the guys have been asked that question a bunch, but I never hear them mention it. They just have stayed focused.
To what do you owe the 17-game win streak in 1-possession games? How do you do this? Do you coach it? Do you drill down so significantly? I'll give you the floor on that, Andy.
Yeah, well, we know going in that there's so much parity in this league. So any game can go either way. I mean, we get it. There's just too many great players and great coaches in this thing. And the way the cap's set up and the draft is set up, Roger Goodell has given every city an opportunity to potentially win. So you already know that part. But to say that I knew about 17 games, 1-score games coming down and us being on the winning side of it, no, I mean, that's hard to practice other than going back to what I said, do the best you can with what you've got there and try to put your guys in the best position you possibly can. So, and then you've got to have a little luck, man. That ball's not round. And so it doesn't always go where you want it to go. It can bonk off a goalpost and either come back to you or go through. And we've had one of those go through. And, we've had some turnovers. We've had blocked field goals, extra points. We've had all those things. So we've kind of hit the gamut of ways to come out on the positive end. But very easily, those could have gone the other way.
Well, in the couple minutes I have left with you, Coach, I'm gonna dare to jump in here and ask you to be a little reflexive about yourself and your career and where you are right now. I do frequently ask people who are at such a high level and have an opportunity to do something so significant, usually ask them, what if I had told you back at a certain point of your career that you would be in a position right now? Like, for instance, when you take the field for Super Bowl 59, you will be coaching in your 45th playoff game. That's the most ever. You will now have as many Super Bowl appearances as Don Shula, one more than Tom Landry. You're already ahead of them in terms of most playoff wins as a coach. And I could say, what if I had told you when you showed up on NFL Total Access in Jacksonville? But I'm going to go here. What if I told this Andrew Reid back in the day for the punt, pass, and kick, that you would be the coach to go for a three-peat and have as many wins as you have? What if I told that kid before that competition?
I wouldn't have believed it. I mean, this is a dream job. You're one out of 32 guys in the whole world, Rich. And so, I mean, to think that you're going to be one of those is crazy. So I respect the heck out of every day I get to do it. And then all those guys you named, all those great coaches, I respect the dog out of them too, because I try to stay up on the history of the game. I always have. And those names are, those are great coaches. I've had a chance to meet a couple of them and, before they passed on. So just great people too.
Yeah. Did you punt? Did you win that punt, pass, and kick back in the day?
No, I didn't win that one.
You didn't?
That little kid right there beat me.
Are you serious? The kid next to you?
No.
Number 2. Were you weren't the same age as number 22 on that screen, were you, Andy?
No, he was 8 years old. I was 13.
You were 13.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, look at you now. Honestly, I would love to just go up to that 13-year-old. Hey, before you do this, you're going to turn into X, Y, and Z and what you've been able to do. And I like I said, I've known you for some time. I always appreciate the time that you give me, no matter where I'm asking you to chat. Means a lot to me. And, I wish I had this knowledge now. I would have told you back in Jacksonville when you're getting ready for your first Super Bowl where you'd be right now. I would love to see your reaction.
I appreciate you. I know you would too. I appreciate our friendship too. So.
I appreciate you saying that. Coach, I will see you in New Orleans. Thanks for the time.
All right, Rich. Thank you.
You got it. That's Andy Reid, 3-time Super Bowl champion head coach, trying to be a 4 and trying to go for a three-peat. Man, I thought he was telling the truth that he lost to number 22 on that screen right there.
I think I operated this whole time under the belief that they were the same age.
I guess not.
And that Andy was just a giant.
Dude, put that up one more time. He's 13. Cooper is almost 6'1", and
Cooper
he turns 14
giant.
in a couple
Cooper
weeks.
is a giant as well.
Then they spelled his name wrong in the broadcast. Andrew Reid of Los Angeles, California, number 34 on your screen, has the opportunity. This was taken, this competition, 5 years after the Super Bowl was played, initially as the NFL AFL championship game.
Right.
And then the guy whose son signs his check created the Super Bowl. And just to say that guy, at 13-year-old, could wind up with the greatest coaching career ever. And I understand that Belichick is currently named as such, and Lombardi's name is on the trophy. Unreal. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.